The banking hall at Uphill Bank, Woos, was full of voices, clicking heels, and the soft hum of the air conditioner. Then one voice cut through everything like a whistle. "Are you deaf?" Grace shouted. "Leave this bank now before I call security." Thief. Heads turned. Two tellers froze. A mother holding a baby stepped away from the counter. A young man stopped filling his deposit slip. The thief, a calm, neat man in a simple dark polo and clean sneakers, did not move. He looked around the hall, reading the posters on the wall like any normal customer. "Excuse me," he said softly. "Why are you calling me a thief?" Grace, the new customer service staff, folded her arms. She was very pretty, with long lashes and shiny hair. She knew it, and she used it like a badge. "Because you keep looking around like you're counting cameras," she said. "This is not a market. If you don't know what you want, get out." "Grace, stop," whispered Amina, the front desk officer beside her. Amina's hands shook. She knew the calm man. She had seen his photo once, in a training slide that came from head office. Not a newspaper, not TV, a training slide. The man in the polo looked just like him. Grace snapped her fingers at Amina. "Don't you dare. If you talk again, I will tell Mr. Aide to sack you." The crowd murmured. "Who is she?" Someone asked. "Why is she shouting?" Another said. The calm man looked at the gold crest on the wall, Uphill Bank, then back at Grace. His face stayed gentle. "Why are you embarrassing me?" he asked. "You do not even know me." Grace rolled her eyes big and wide. "Last warning. Get out." Amina swallowed hard and stepped forward. "Sir, please." Grace blocked her with a quick move of her shoulder. "Move, Amina." The hall felt tight. Suddenly, a deep voice rose from the door of the back office. "What is going on here?" Everyone turned. Mr. Ade, the branch manager, stood with a stiff face and a tight tie. He took one look at the calm man, and his whole body changed. He bowed. "Good afternoon, sir." Grace blinked fast. "Sir? Why are you apologizing to this fool?" she asked, loud enough for the whole hall to hear. Mr. Ade's face went white. "Will you keep quiet, Grace?" He swallowed. "Everyone, please, this is Mr. Damien Dare." He pointed at the calm man with shaking fingers. "The CEO of Uphill Bank." It was like the air stopped moving. For one long second, nobody breathed. The calm man Damien Dare looked at Grace. Grace's lips trembled. The hall waited. Damien lifted one hand, very slowly, and pointed up at the black bubble of a ceiling camera. "Playable," he said. The lights above the customer service desk flashed. The big TV on the wall woke up blue screen first. Then a pause icon shimmered in the corner, and the whole bank leaned in. Before the shout, that morning, the Abuja sun rose hot and bright over Wuse too. Damien Dare's plane from London had landed 2 days earlier, but nobody knew. He liked it that way. He was a very private billionaire. No newspaper noise, no TV shows, no big social media. He stood by the hotel window and watched the city move yellow buses, hawkers, office people with coffee cups. Soon, his driver brought a plain black SUV. No car flags, no convoy. "Woos branch," Damien said. "No calls ahead." He came not as a king to be praised. He came as a customer to watch. Because for 2 months, complaints from Wuse had been quietly climbing into his private inbox. Long queues. Rude staff. Manager never around. He kept all the messages in a small folder with a simple name. "Listen." As the car rolled past shops and street banners, Damien checked a small tablet. The data was clear. Customer satisfaction had dropped in the branch. Turnover time at customer service was slow. A few accounts had odd movements that compliance had flagged. And a whisper. The new customer service lady was untouchable. He did not trust whispers. He trusted evidence. He wore a plain polo and clean sneakers. He put a cap in his bag but left it there. He kept his voice calm, his steps slow, and his eyes open. If the bank was truly good, it should feel good without his name on his chest. At the branch, the guard opened the glass door and bowed. "Welcome, sir." Damien smiled. "Thank you." The air conditioner hummed. Fresh scent. Clean floor. Screens listed exchange rates and friendly tips. Protect your PIN. Ask for help if unsure. These he designed himself. But a poster can smile while a person frowns. He wanted to feel the people. He drifted to customer service like a leaf in soft water. His eyes moved across the chairs, the cue stand, the notice board. He watched an elderly man struggle with a form. He saw a young woman carry a baby and a handbag, switching the baby from shoulder to shoulder. He saw a student with a backpack, reading a debit card leaflet. He heard a voice sharp, quick, like a knife cutting nylon. Next. Are you next or just standing there? Damien turned. Grace stood behind the customer service desk. Bright lipstick. Tight smile. She flicked her fingers at a man with grey hair. Ogre, bring the slip here if you are ready. If you are not ready, please let people that know what they are doing move forward. The old man's hands shook. Sorry, he said. Amina leaned forward with kindness in her voice. Daddy, don't worry. Let me help you fill it. She took a pen and smiled. Grace sucked her teeth. Amina, help him after you attend to the next person. Don't block the line, I beg. Amina lowered her eyes and said softly, Yes, please. Damien's eyes followed the wave of small anger that rippled through the waiting seats. He watched Grace give a tired look to a cleaner who accidentally bumped the desk with her mop. Can't you see? Move that thing away. This is not your house. The cleaner nodded fast and disappeared. A young man stepped up. Good morning. Grace didn't look at him. She looked at her phone. A message popped up on her screen. The name on the top. Mr. Aid. Good morning, honey. My queen. After work, we stop by Jubby Lake. 7 p.m. Wear the gown I bought. Anything you want. I will do. Grace smiled at the phone and replied quickly. Yes, baby. Then she lifted her eyes and spoke to the young man like a door clapping shut. ID? I forgot it, please. I just want to confirm. No ID, no service. Next. The young man blinked and stepped aside. Amina tried again. We can use his card and… Amina. Grace snapped without turning. Do you want trouble? Amina's cheeks colored. No. Damien let the scene settle inside him like a note in a notebook. He watched Mr. Ade come out once, laugh with a marketer at the far corner, whisper into his phone, then vanish again. A mother with a baby spoke up. Madam, please, my child is crying. Can you… Everybody's child cries, Grace said, eyes hard. Please sit. The mother sat. The baby cried louder. From behind, Damien saw two security men share a look. They knew something was wrong, but could not touch it. The wrong thing wore a staff ID. He walked closer to the notice board and read an old flyer about a savings promo. He did not want to step into the line. Not yet. He wanted to see who noticed what. He wanted to see who would protect whom. That was when Grace's eyes slid over and landed on him, standing at the side, looking around, reading, thinking. Her mouth curved. Her chin lifted. She didn't ask a question. She judged. You, she called, loud. Yes, you looking at the wall. What are you looking at? This is not a gallery. Damien blinked, surprised. I'm just what? Are you a customer? If you are not a customer, leave. He stayed quiet. He had lived many years learning how silence speaks. In silence, a person shows their heart. Grace nodded to herself like she had found proof. Security, she shouted toward the door. Come and remove this man. Amina's hands froze on the keyboard. Please, Grace. Don't. Grace cut her off with a stare. I said, security. The two security men took a step forward, confused. They looked at Damien's gentle face and back at Grace's sharp one. The hall tightened like a belt. Damien lifted his palm. No need. He walked to the desk, slow and calm, and stopped at a polite distance. Good morning, he said. Grace's eyebrow jumped. Morning for who? For thieves. Please don't waste my time. Why are you calling me a thief? Damien asked again, voice still soft. Have I stolen something? Have I disturbed anyone? Grace laughed without joy. This is Uphill Bank, not your father's house. If you don't know what you want, go outside, or I will call the police. A murmur rose across the hall, phones slid out quietly, screens lit up, cameras pointed. Abuja loves a story. People love a lesson. Some want trouble to end. Some want it to trend. Damien looked around once, saw the raised phones, and then looked back at Grace. You don't even know me, he said, sadness in his voice. Why are you so sure I am bad? Grace leaned forward and spoke like a slap. Because I said so, Amina whispered. Grace, please. Grace's hand shot out, palm open, as if to block Amina's words in the air. "One more word, and I will tell Mr. Ade to sack you by evening." The name hung like smoke. "Mr. Ade," Damian repeated, like a teacher repeating a word for spelling. "The branch manager." Grace smiled the kind of smile that said, "I am safe." "Yes, my manager." Damian's eyes went to the glass door of the back office and stayed there long enough for the doorknob to turn. And then the doorknob turned. Mr. Ade stepped out, buttoning his jacket, face set. "What is going on here?" he asked, loud and strong. Amina whispered, "Oh God." Grace smiled wider. "Sir, this useless." Mr. Ade looked up, saw Damian, and the ground inside his body moved. His mouth opened. His hands dropped to his sides. His eyes widened fast. Then he did something nobody had ever seen him do in that hall. He bowed. "Lo. Good afternoon, sir." The hall gasped as one. Grace blinked. "Sir? Why are you apologizing to this fool?" The whole bank swallowed the word fool like a burning pepper. Someone near the door whispered, "Chai." Someone else put a hand over her mouth. Mr. Ade turned on Grace like thunder. "Will you keep quiet?" His voice shook. "This is Mr. Damien Dare, the CEO of Uphill Bank." Grace stood still. The world behind her eyes went bright white, then blank. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish pulled from water. Damian did not shout. He did not snap. He only lifted his hand and pointed up at the camera bubble in the ceiling. "Playable," he said. A soft beep sounded. The big TV on the wall flashed awake. "Sir?" The IT officer peeped from behind a pillar, shocked but ready. "Playback," Damian said. "From 10 minutes ago." With audio, the hall stood as one body. The baby's cry fell quiet. Even the AC seemed to whisper. On the TV, the banking hall came into view, same bright floor, same chairs, same desk. It was the whole scene from above. The remote's red light blinked, and the thin progress bar crawled. The pause icon glowed. The play triangle waited. Damian nodded once. Play. Before the day exploded, Grace had a good morning good in her own way. She stood in front of her mirror and admired her beauty. "Pretty can open any door," she told herself, lip gloss shining. When her phone pinged with Mr. Ade's message, her smile grew. She liked this power. She liked how other staff watched her when she snapped her fingers. She liked how people lowered their eyes when she rolled hers. At work, she wore her name badge like a crown. She shook her head at complaints. "They don't pay me enough for slow people," she told Amina. "Let them move fast. If they cannot, let them go." Next. Amina didn't answer. She had seen customers cry. She had seen old hands tremble. She had seen young men ask for help with soft voices. She knew what a kind word could do. But kindness was not queen here. Grace was. By 11 o'clock, small wrongs had piled up like tiny stones in a shoe, an old man told to stand aside, a mother told to sit with her crying child, a student told to come back with ID or go home. Each wrong was small by itself. Together, they made the hall tight and hot, even with the AC. Then a calm man walked in and stood by the notice board. Grace saw him, all those small stones rolled together into one big rock. She pushed it at him with her words. But words, like rocks, can roll back. Now, as the TV hung on the thick pause, play ready, proof ready, truth ready, Grace felt the sound drain from her world. Her face still tried to look strong, but her hands told the truth. They shook. She looked at Mr. Ade for help. He could not help her. He was looking at the TV too, eyes full of fear, because the camera had not only watched Grace, it had watched him. It had watched him laugh. It had watched him vanish. It had watched him text. And in Damien's calm hand, the room's silence felt like a bell waiting to ring. "Play," he said again softly now, almost kindly. The red light blinked. The triangle glowed brighter. And the whole hall leaned forward, as if the truth on the screen had a smell everyone wanted to breathe it. People think CEOs only come with sirens and cameras. Damien did not. He came because he remembered his first week as a junior banker, years ago, when a guard made fun of his cheap shoes. He came because he knew a bank is not just money and safe doors. A bank is people. The way you speak to a person is the bank in their heart. He came because he had read one message in his listen folder 3 times. "Sir, please come yourself." If they know you are coming, they will wear fake smiles. Come like a normal person. You will see what we see. So he came, and now the hall was a theater. The crowd were the audience. Grace was center stage. Mr. Aid was too. Amina stood with her hands clasped, praying without moving her lips. The TV still held the first frame. Even the security men forgot to breathe. Outside, through the glass door, Abuja's sun fell hard and white on the street. But inside, the light came from one small thing. A glow on a screen. Play, Damien had said. And the truth was about to start talking. Stop here. The red light blinked. The triangle turned white. Play. On the TV, the banking hall appeared from the ceiling view. We saw the shiny floor. We saw the seats. We saw the customer service desk. We saw Grace. We heard her voice, clear and sharp. Next. Are you next, or just standing there? The crowd in the real hall went quiet. The old man in the front row hid his face with his cap. The mother with the crying baby held her child closer. Amina pressed her lips together. On the screen, Grace waved a hand at the old man. Ogre, if you are not ready, let people who know what they are doing move forward. The old man trembled. Sorry. Amina's voice came from the TV. Gentle. Kind. Daddy, let me help you fill it. Grace cut in. Amina, help him after you attend to the next person. Don't block the line. The real Amina stood still, tears in her eyes. She had tried. She really had. The video rolled. We watched the mother ask for help. We heard Grace say, Everybody's child cries. Please sit. A small hiss rose around the real hall. Even the security men frowned at the screen. Then the video reached the moment with Damien calm, neat, standing by the notice board. We heard it all again. You. Are you a customer? If you are not a customer, leave. Why are you calling me a thief? Because I said so. The sound of those words felt like stones dropping into a bucket one by one, heavy and clear. On the real floor, Grace shook her head fast. Sir, The words would not come out. Damien did not look at her yet. He looked at the TV. Pause, he said. The IT officer froze the frame. Grace's angry face sat in a square on the screen. The whole bank could see it. Damien spoke softly. A bank is not the walls. A bank is how we treat people. If our voice is hard, the bank is hard. If our voice is kind, the bank is kind. He turned to the customers. Daddy, he said to the old man in the cap. Please, what brought you here today? The old man stood slowly. His voice was small. Sir, I came to complain. They removed charges from my account 2 times. I asked for help last week. She told me to go and come back today. Today she told me to sit. Again. He wiped his eyes. I am a farmer. I do not understand all these things. Thank you, Damien said. He turned to the mother with the baby. Madam? The woman nodded. I just wanted to change my phone number. My baby is restless. I begged her to help me fast. She told me to sit. I have been here for 2 hours. Thank you. Damien faced the hall. We will fix your issues now. He turned to Amina. Please, take Daddy to the desk beside you. Change the number for the mother next. Do it with peace. Amina nodded quickly. Yes, sir. She led the old man with steady hands. The mother followed, hope shining in her tired eyes. Damien now faced Mr. Ard. The manager's tie looked too tight. Sweat sat on his forehead. Mr. Aid, Damien said in that same calm voice, how many customer complaints have you solved this month? Sir, we handle many. How many? Damien asked again. Not loud, just firm. Mr. Aid swallowed. 10. Maybe. Damien's eyes did not move. He said without looking back. Show me the complaint log for this branch. Last 30 days. The TV changed. A list appeared. Dates, ticket numbers, status lines, closed, pending, escalated. There were numbers beside each staff name. The crowd could not read it all, but one thing was clear. Amina had many closed resolved. Grace had pending and escalated, and customer left again and again. Damien nodded once. Thank you. He looked at Grace at last. Do you have anything to say? Her mouth opened. The room waited. Then she said the small truth that always comes late. I was wrong. Why? Damien asked. Grace blinked. Sir, why were you wrong? He asked again. Say it clearly. Grace's shoulders dropped. Because Because I spoke without care. I hurt people. I forgot they are the reason I have this job. The room exhaled. It was the first soft thing she had said all day. Damien's face stayed calm. Thank you for saying it. But truth is not only words. Truth is pattern. He looked back at the TV. Rewind to closing time yesterday. Camera 2. Back office door. The video jumped to a quiet evening image. The hall was empty. The glass door to the back office showed shadows moving. Play, Damien said. The door opened. Mr. Aide stepped out, laughing with a marketer. He checked the hall, then went back in. After a moment, he came out again with an envelope. Thick. He put it inside his jacket and looked left and right. A low sound ran through the real hall. Ah, pause, Damien said. The image froze on the envelope. Mr. Ade, Damien said gently. What is that? The manager's lips trembled. Sir, it is, branch petty cash for... Branch petty cash is recorded, Damien said. We will check. Show back office camera. 10 minutes before this moment. The view changed. Inside the back office, a teller placed an envelope on the table. She wrote something on a small paper and put it in the envelope. She left. The envelope sat. Grace walked in. She picked up the envelope. She opened it, peeped, smiled, closed it again, and put it back on the table. Then she sent a quick message on her phone. A minute later, Mr. Aide walked in, took the same envelope, and tucked it into his jacket. Pause, Damien said. The real Grace covered her mouth with her hands. Sir, I swear I did not take it. I only... Quiet. Mr. Aide snapped at her, then faced Damien with shaking hands. Sir, please. It is not what it looks like. Damien nodded once. Then the records will clear you. He spoke to the IT officer again. Open the petty cash book for yesterday. The TV showed a digitized page. The line for the same envelope read, Filed to safe. 5:10 p.m. Next to it, sign. A. Teller. There was no record of removal. No authorization. No manager's sign. The hall whispered like trees in light wind. Damien kept his voice even. Security, please close the door. No one leaves. The two security men moved to the entrance and locked it gently. They stood like pillars. A low moment followed. Quiet. Heavy. The kind of quiet that hurts the ear. Then a phone buzzed on the customer desk. Everyone heard it. Amina looked down. Her face went pale. Damien noticed. What is it? He asked softly. Amina showed him her screen with slow hands. A message had just arrived from a new number. Keep quiet or you will regret. The hall tensed again. Grace's eyes went wide. Mr. Aide looked at the ceiling, then at the door. Damien took the phone and read the message twice. He handed it back to Amina and nodded like a father, saying, I see you. Thank you for being brave, he said. He turned to the TV. Switched to lobby camera last week, same day. 4:30 p.m. The video changed to a busy evening. We saw Grace telling a man to come back tomorrow. We saw the same man open his palm, showing a small card and a bundle of receipt papers. We saw her shake her head. We saw him leave with slumped shoulders. Pause, Damien said. Zoom. The IT officer zoomed in on the man's card as he turned. It was clear enough now. Shareholder ID. A small shock ran through the real hall. The old man in the cap raised his head. The mother with the baby whispered, Ah. Damien spoke softly, but his words felt like iron. He is one of the first 50 people who believed in this bank. He is a shareholder. He should be treated with honor. He should be treated with thanks. He turned back to Grace and Mr. Ade. We will not hide anything today. He took a breath. Here is what will happen now. The room leaned toward him. Amina, he said, you are acting customer service lead today. Serve these people with peace. Call 2 tellers to help you. Give the mother a chair. Give the old man water. Yes, sir, Amina said, tears rolling, but this time they were the good kind. Damien said. Send all these clips to legal and compliance. Mark them urgent. Done, sir, the IT officer replied. Security, Damien continued. Kindly invite Mr. Aide to sit in the glass meeting room. Do not touch him. Just sit him there. Grace will sit in the second room. You will both wait. Grace fell to her knees. Sir, please, I can change. Please, do not stand up, Damien said softly. No drama. This is a business place. Then, she stood. Her hands shook so much she had to hold the desk to stop them. A deep quiet settled again. The kind of quiet before rain. And then the glass door clicked. 2 men in plain suits walked in. They did not wear noise. They wore work. One carried a slim black case. Damien turned to them. You are on time. The taller man nodded. Compliance and legal, he said. We got the clips. He opened the case and brought out 2 simple envelopes with printed seals. He placed one in front of Grace and one in front of Mr. Ade. Please read, the man said. Grace reached for hers with shaking fingers and slid the paper out. Her eyes moved fast. Her lips opened. Mr. Ade's eyes moved too. His face drained white. He looked up at Damien in panic. Sir, please. Damien lifted a hand. No. Read it out so everyone can hear. Mr. Ade swallowed hard and began to speak, but before he could finish the first line, the TV screen flashed again on its own. A new clip popped up. It was the back office. Night. The lights were dim. Someone's hand opened the safe, took out a small bundle, and stuffed it into a black nylon bag. The camera caught only the hand and a bit of a sleeve. The sleeve had a small tear near the wrist. In the real hall, people turned their heads at the same time, slow toward one person. Grace stared at her own sleeve. There it was, a tiny tear near her wrist. She gasped and stepped back. The room breathed in like one big chest. Pause, Damien said, and the room froze with the frame hand, tear, safe hanging in the air like a loud bell that had not yet rung. The banking hall felt like a drum with a hand resting just above it, waiting, ready to strike. On the big TV, the image of the hand at the safe glowed. Everyone could see the black nylon bag. Everyone could see the wrist. Everyone could see the tiny tear in the sleeve. And then, like the slow turn of a spotlight, all eyes moved toward Grace. Her blouse sleeve had the exact same tear, small, by the wrist. Her knees weakened. Her throat dried. She whispered, No, 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 no. Pause, Damien said again, though the screen was already frozen. His voice was steady, but it carried the kind of weight that made the air thick. The 2 men from compliance exchanged a look. One of them opened a slim folder. Inside were printed logs of the safe activity. Sir, the man said, the system shows the safe was accessed after closing hours, without any entry in the record, the only staff still logged in the building at that time. He looked down at the page. Was Grace O? A sharp gasp rippled across the room. Grace staggered backward, her hands in the air. It's not me. It's not me. That camera angle is wrong. It could be anyone. But the crowd had already judged. Murmurs grew into whispers. The old farmer shook his head. The mother with the baby whispered, After everything she said to us. Grace spun toward Mr. Ade, her eyes wild. Tell them it wasn't me. You know. Mr. Ade's face was pale. He shook his head slowly, as if the strength had left his body. Grace, you told me the envelope was safe. You said it was in order. I only peeked. You took it, Grace shouted. Her voice cracked. I only looked. You are the one who took the money. Enough, Damien said softly. And the words cut through the noise like a knife through cloth. He stepped closer to the desk. His eyes stayed calm, but calmness now was more frightening than any shout. Grace, Damien said. When a person shows pride, it is one thing. When they show pride and corruption, it is another. Do you know what happens when trust breaks in a bank? Her lips trembled. Money can be replaced. Trust cannot. His words dropped like stones into the silence. One of the compliance officers read from the paper in his hand. As of today, you are suspended for gross misconduct, harassment of customers, and suspected involvement in theft. The words, gross misconduct, echoed in the hall. Some customers nodded, satisfied. Others whispered, It's about time. Grace fell to her knees again, her tears cutting through her makeup. Sir, please forgive me. I have a younger sister. She depends on me. I don't have anywhere else to go. Amina turned away, her eyes burning. She had seen Grace mock people, laugh at their pain, and now the same woman was begging for mercy. Damien's eyes stayed on Grace. Do you remember the farmer? He asked quietly. The man you called slow? Do you remember the mother with the crying child? Did you show them mercy? Grace covered her face with her hands. Her shoulders shook. The manager's mask slips. Damian now turned to Mr. Ade. And you? The manager swallowed hard. Sir, I can explain. You were in charge here, Damien said. Your duty was to guide, to protect, to build. Instead, you covered for wrong. You tied your position to a junior staff for selfish gain. And worse, you took what was not yours. Mr. Ade's knees buckled. He dropped onto the polished tiles. Please, sir. Please. I have served this bank for 15 years. Don't end me like this. I made mistakes, yes, but I can change. I swear on my life. The crowd was merciless. Whispers grew sharp. So he was her cover. No wonder she acted like queen. The compliance officer read from the second envelope. As of today, you, Mr. Ade, are suspended pending full investigation for abuse of office, gross negligence, and possible theft. The manager broke down completely. He held his head in both hands. Please, sir, don't destroy me. Don't destroy me. Just then, the IT officer frowned at his monitor. Sir, he said carefully, there is something more. Damian turned. Show it. The screen jumped again. This time, the footage was from outside the branch parking lot camera. Night vision made the image grainy, but clear enough. We saw Grace walk out first, her handbag tight against her body. She looked around, then hurried toward a dark car parked under a tree. She opened the back door, dropped something inside, then shut it quickly. Seconds later, Mr. Ade appeared, walking fast, jacket heavy at the chest. He slid into the driver's seat of the same car. The car drove away into the night. The banking hall erupted. Ha! Both of them together. Chai! Grace's face went grey. No, it was not like that. I swear it was not like that. But the truth had already burned itself into the screen, into the crowd, into the room. Damian stood still, while the voices filled the hall. Then he raised his hand, and silence returned. Listen, he said. This bank belongs to the people. Farmers, mothers, students, workers, people who trust us with what they sweat for. A bank without trust is nothing but walls and air, and I will not allow Uphill Bank to become walls and air. He looked at Grace and Mr. Ade together. Your chapter here is finished. Legal will follow up. Compliance will follow up. If you are innocent, the investigation will clear you. But from this moment, you hold no power in this hall. The two security guards stepped forward. Gently, firmly, they guided Grace and Mr. Ade toward the glass rooms. Grace cried out, her voice shaking. Please, sir, don't do this to me. Please. Mr. Ade stumbled, whispering to himself. 15 years. 15 years. The doors shut behind them. Damian turned back to the hall. The tension softened. Some customers began to clap, slowly at first, then louder. The farmer stood and raised his cap. God bless you, sir, he said. His voice cracked. God bless you for coming like one of us, not like a big man. The mother with the baby held her child close. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Thank you, sir. Nobody has ever spoken for us like this before. Even Amina, trying to serve the customers now, paused with her hands on the keyboard. She looked at Damian with eyes full of respect and relief. For the first time that day, the banking hall felt like what it should be. Safe, fair, human. Damian gave a small nod. This is only the beginning. Uphill Bank will not be known for marble floors or glass doors. It will be known for kindness and fairness. That is our real capital. The crowd clapped louder, and yet, just as the moment softened, one of the compliance officers leaned toward Damian. His face was serious. He whispered something too low for the crowd to hear. Damian's eyes narrowed. Are you sure? The officer nodded. Damian looked back at the people in the hall, then at the glass room where Grace and Mr. Ade sat. He spoke in a voice that carried to every corner of the branch. There is one more truth hidden here, and we will find it. The screen flickered. A new camera feed filled the TV manager's corridor. Night view. Quiet. A soft beep sounded. A keypad glowed at the safe room door. On the screen, a hand entered numbers fast. The lock blinked green. Compliance spoke, steady and clear. This code is manager override. Only the branch manager has it. The hall turned to Mr. Ade. He shut his eyes. Sir, please. The screen switched again. Back office, same time. We saw Grace's torn sleeve hand reach into the open safe, lift a small bundle and drop it into a black nylon bag. She looked left, looked right, and left. Compliance added, "The safe cannot open without the manager code." He unlocked. She took. A low hiss rolled through the hall like wind through dry grass. Damian's voice stayed calm. Now the message. The threat to Amina. IT tapped a key. The TV split into two small windows. SMS trace on the left, parking lot on the right. On the left, we saw a line of numbers and a name. Ade Ventures, secondary SIM. On the right, we saw Mr. Adi sitting in his car at night, sending a text, his screen lighting his face. Amina covered her mouth. Her eyes filled again, but this time with relief. It was not in her head. She was not crazy. Someone really tried to silence her. Murmurs swelled. He threatened her? Chai, this is too much. Damian lifted his hand. Silence fell. A bank is trust, he said. When a leader threatens truth, he breaks the roof over everyone. The security men guided Grace and Mr. Ade toward the glass rooms. Compliance placed their files on the desk. The old farmer wiped his eyes. The mother hugged her baby tight. Then a small voice rose from the side. It was the cleaner, the same woman Grace had brushed away earlier. "Sir," she said, timid but brave. "There is more." Damian turned. "Talk." She twisted her fingers, then pointed at the screen. "Sometimes I clean late. On Fridays. Twice, I saw a man from head office come in late night. He wore a brown cap. He went inside with manager Aid. I hid behind the pillar. I saw him hold the safe room door while Olga Adi typed. A ripple of shock moved across the seats. Head office? It looked at Damian. He nodded once. The screen jumped. Friday. 2 weeks ago. The camera caught the corridor again. The door opened. Mr. Aid stepped out, and behind him, a taller man in a brown cap. He turned just enough for the badge on his chest to flash in the light. Compliance zoomed. The name clipped into focus. Felix, Regional Director. The hall exploded. Ah, Regional. This thing reached up. Damian's jaw tightened. Just a little. He said nothing for 3 slow seconds. Then, send that clip to legal, board audit, and security command. Mark read. Sent, it replied. Damian faced the customers. Listen, the problem is bigger than one rude staff. A rotten roof lets rain fall in many rooms. We will fix the roof. He turned to the cleaner. Thank you for speaking. She nodded, shaking. Amina drew a steady breath and started serving again. Faster now, lighter now. The farmer got water. The mother got a chair. People began to smile through the shock. Compliance closed one folder, opened another. Sir, EFCC and police are on standby. We also alerted head office audit. Before Damian could answer, the glass door clicked. A tall man walked in with quick steps and a brown cap in his hand. He didn't see the TV at first. He didn't see the crowd watching him. He only saw Mr. Aid through the glass room and frowned. Then he looked up at the TV and froze at his own zoomed-in badge. The hall went silent like a held breath. Damian turned, eyes steady. Good afternoon, Mr. Felix. The cleaner's mop slipped from her hand and hit the floor. Mr. Felix smiled a thin smile that did not reach his eyes. CEO, here? In Woos? Without notice? Damian's voice stayed soft. We came to listen. Mr. Felix's jaw moved once, twice. Then his eyes flicked to the exit, and his right hand slid into his jacket slowly. Security, Damian said, still calm. Close the doors. Nobody moves. The locks clicked. Mr. Felix's hand stopped inside his jacket. The TV kept his face bright. And the whole bank leaned forward, hearts pounding, waiting to see what he would pull out. For a long second, the hall was silent. The only sound was the soft hum of the AC and the baby breathing against her mother's chest. All eyes locked on Mr. Felix. His hand stayed half buried in his jacket, frozen. His jaw worked like he wanted to chew his words before spitting them out. Sir, one of the security men said carefully, please take your hand out slowly. Felix's eyes flicked from the locked glass doors to Damian, to the crowd of customers watching every move. He knew the game was over. His hand came out, empty, shaking slightly. No gun, just a phone. He tried a smile. CEO, this is a misunderstanding. I was here for an audit visit. It's normal. The footage is being twisted. Enough, Damien said. His voice was not loud, but it cut through Felix's excuses like a blade. The TV replayed the clip. Felix holding the safe room door, Aide typing the code, Grace slipping in later. The evidence spoke louder than him. The compliance officer stepped forward, holding a document. Mr. Felix, as regional director, you are hereby suspended pending investigation for collusion and financial misconduct. The board has already been alerted. The crowd reacted like waves hitting the shore. Some clapped, some hissed, some shook their heads. Felix dropped his smile, his voice turned low and bitter. Damien, you think cleaning one branch will change this bank? The rot goes deeper than woos. Damien looked at him calmly. Then we will dig deeper. And we will clean deeper. Uphill Bank will not rot while I live. The hall clapped louder this time, fierce, grateful. Security guided Felix into the glass room with Grace and Aide. The three of them sat, trapped not by chains, but by truth. The very walls seemed to press their shame down on them. Compliance officers sealed the folders and sent the last clips to EFCC and the police. Within minutes, 2 uniformed officers entered quietly, collected the suspended trio, and led them out. Grace sobbed like a child. Aide kept whispering, 15 years, wasted. Felix stared ahead, stone-faced, knowing headlines were waiting. And then the glass doors closed behind them. The hall shifted. The tension melted into relief. Customers began to smile again. Amina finished processing the farmer's complaint. His charges were reversed instantly. The mother's phone number was updated. The student finally got his card query answered. For the first time in months, the branch felt alive, like sunlight after a long storm. The farmer raised his cap. CEO, thank you. Today, you gave us back respect. The mother whispered, God bless you, sir. You fought for us. Damien nodded humbly. It is not me. It is what this bank must be. People first. Always. He turned to Amina. From today, you are acting branch supervisor. Lead with kindness. Train others in your way. Amina gasped. Sir. Me? Yes, Damien said, because you already lead with your heart. Tears ran down her cheeks. The staff around her clapped, some even crying with joy. Damien looked around the hall one last time. Phones were still raised, recording. Customers were smiling now, not whispering. Staff stood taller, hope returning to their faces. This is Uphill Bank, he said. Not glass, not marble, not money. People, every staff, every customer, every farmer, every mother. If we forget that, we have nothing. The hall erupted in applause. Some customers even stood to clap harder. The cleaner wiped her eyes with her scarf. The baby in the mother's arms giggled, as if even he understood. Damien gave one final nod and turned to leave. His SUV was waiting quietly outside, but he did not walk like a king. He walked like a man among men. Behind him, the branch was no longer the same. It had been reborn, and as he stepped out into the Abuja sun, the words echoed in every heart present that day. A bank without trust is nothing but walls and air, and Uphill Bank under Damien Dare would never be just walls again. Please, like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos.